Thank you for watching Valor Studios on YouTube. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and turn on notifications.
Where last we left off, you had landed on the planet of Calypso in search of supplies to make repairs to the light of day. But something seemed strange about this small farming community that you had found called Haven. Any sign of advanced technology seemed to have been stripped bare or torn apart and used in the construction of buildings and misused for the application of simple farm tools. You were greeted by the inhabitants, who all seemed glassy-eyed and almost filled with a benevolence that was disconcerting. Happy. They embraced you, all of you, except for Iris, whom they all seemed rather wary of. On the trip towards the center of town, where you would speak with their leader, Gabriel, you learned that the colony has rejected technology, seeing it as some form of blasphemy or something that has angered the sky god, the giant eye, which they've either turned to worship or fear, the sudden appearance of the black hole in the sky. And now, as you stand before their leader, Gabriel, we pick up that scene. Gabriel, a man in his late 40s, early 50s, with white hair and the tanned, deep lines of someone who's spent years working underneath the sun, toiling, looks at all of you and says, "Welcome to Haven. It's unusual that we receive visitors, but we are friendly people who are willing to share what we have. It's always good to meet wayward travelers. How can we help you?"
Well, I suppose I can just say that we are here to fix our ship. So we didn't want to be a bother or anything like that, although we'd love to learn more about you as well. She pulls out a notebook and she just writes down a few things. So how is it that your species moved here?
He says, we were part of a colony project with the Empire.
Oh, the Empire.
Perhaps, do you have a list of the... He looks at you all and goes, does any of you have a list of what you need?
I sure do.
Well, very good.
I can give you a manifest, or I can just, if you show me to what you have in the way of metals and alloys and so forth, I can go through it if you have any kind of blacksmith or...
He goes, yes, give me a list of what you need. I'll distribute it amongst the work crews and see what they can pull together. He looks sideways at Iris and then back at the rest of you and says, I have some other things I must attend to. Please, I ask that you are welcome to look around the town, but don't wander off alone. There are still, the world is not entirely subdued. There are still dangers out beyond the perimeter. Please travel with one of the other members of the village. And welcome to Haven. And he turns to one of the other villagers that are there and says, "Please work with Hakar to get everything he needs to get his ship repaired." The person nods, turns towards you. The person he actually turns to is an older woman who introduces herself as Melina.
Well, hello there, Melina. I guess I'll give you the manifest. I've got it memorized, but I also wrote it down here. Hand her a slip of paper.
Gabriel kind of disappears into what appears to be some sort of large meeting hall type looking building. As the Hakar and Melina go over the manifest, what do the rest of you choose to do?
Iris is going to look around. I mean, she wants to see what she already knows about this place, and then also what she can learn, what new knowledge she can gain, or what could maybe benefit her here, or be something she could bring back to the ministry.
All right. And Bronwyn, how about you?
Bronwyn's looking around to try and kind of gauge the situation. After they were starting to talk about not liking technology.
Yeah.
I started feeling a little safer, but then also I'm a little freaked out. When I look around, like, do I see anything more, like, in the way these people are interacting or how they're looking at Iris?
You see, for the most part, they seem to be like, the best way for you to understand it, they almost like they're shunning her. They're scared of her. As she goes around trying to find someone to get information from, they quickly make excuses and head in completely different directions from where they were walking originally.
Okay, I go over and I join her. And I like slap on like a really big smile, and like I make sure my eyes are nice and bright, and like I adjust like my boobs so my cleavage is like real good and fluff it up a little bit. And I kind of like go over to her and I put my arm in her arm and I say, "All right, where are we going? You lead the way. We're gonna go talk to some people, okay? Because these fucks are avoiding you."
Iris at first, whenever you put your arm in her arm, she's kind of like, and then you continue on with what she's saying, and she kind of goes, oh, yes, I have been thinking they have been quite rude, and well, thank you, I appreciate it. Yes, let's go learn everything we can about them.
Yeah, because I got a real bad fucking feeling about these people. They're kind of weird. And I mean, that's coming from a plant lady, so...
Oh, well, to be honest, everyone is a bit odd to me, so it didn't stand out. But if you think something is odd, then we should certainly investigate it. Who do you think we should look into first?
So I get really weird vibes from, like, the town gentleman or whatever. I can't tell if he's, like, I don't know, a cultist or just a nice old man.
Oh, yes. Well, and also, what is it that is so dangerous here? Is it something wild, or is it something worse that we can't even fathom? What are they hiding from us? Yes.
I wish I knew. I mean, he says that they don't trust technology, but it seems like it runs deeper than that. I feel like I just hope we find it out before it finds us.
Good point. All right, let's see if we can. Iris is gonna look around and kind of just see who's around, see if she can tell where the man that they were just talking about went.
You saw where he went. There's a fairly large, the larger of most of the buildings here at the center of town. It looks like some sort of dome-shaped city hall or something, some sort of meeting place where you might see official business being carried out. It is of these sort of classic colonist prefab kind of buildings, based on the sort of rounded frame, probably built out of ship parts from like some ship that had landed and then was immediately disassembled in order to help build the colony.
Um,
It's one of the few buildings that appears to not be made out of local materials entirely, or at least partially.
Iris would say, the good thing about spending time with me is that I can get into anywhere I want to. And she's going to start heading towards where he is, what seems to be the capital of the area.
Speaking of which, in the time between the battle in the cargo hold against the shadow creatures and the leaving of the light of day in the shuttle, you had time to research the manifest of the vault. And you researched a few things. Did you happen to go back to the vault in that day's time and retrieve any of those things?
Most certainly, yes.
All right.
At least to borrow, at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do any harm. I mean, where is the captain? We don't know.
And which of those things did you happen to take with you? Or did you take any of them with you to the planet, or did you just take them to your rooms?
Oh no, I would take them all. I would take them all with me if I could.
Okay.
Yeah.
They are from the list, as I recall. All of the ones that you picked up were transportable, I believe. Huh?
T-set.
Okay, but yeah. You wouldn't. I ask Iris because she knows the combination to the vault and can get in and out. Everybody else would have a little bit more difficulty on that, but certainly it's not impossible. So did you? So you have those three things on you at the moment, Iris?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think Bronwyn would have brought a tea set down to the planet?
Probably not. Maybe like a fancy knife or something, like a cheese knife or something. Like what's the set? Maybe some silverware just in case.
Okay. All right.
She has skills.
All right. So meanwhile, Hester, you see Iris and Bronwyn are conspiring in some way. What are you doing?
I see them looking like they might set off in a particular direction. I'm interested in that. I don't want to be left here. I don't know what's out here. We've been warned. These people are weird. I'm going to be kind of casually dropping ammo into my revolver pistol, which I'm going to be carting around visibly as I walk up to them. I'm going to spin it once and just say, I love it here. The shunning is great. Keeps them off me. Let's go learn some things.
And
I'm keeping it out.
All right, so you see that the three passengers have begun to bond there, Childeren, and as Zeth is picking over the manifest with this Melina, they begin to go explore the compound here. What do you choose to do?
Karen has lifted up his monocle and is just attached it to his face and is traipsing around the city center. As is going on, he's sort of whirling it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And he's using the ability of the chrono lens to turn back time so he can see what was happening within the last hour within this area. If they were looking up towards the sky, what they were doing when our ship was coming close.
All right. Give me a notice roll.
All right.
Magic.
That will be a 2, but since I'm an Imperial Worlder, I'm going to re-roll a smarts check.
Okay.
Oh, that's true.
If I can.
There we go. That's a hell of a reroll.
Nice.
What was the final result?
That would be a 14, so 2 successes over.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's hitting 2 raises. All right, so you get a very clear, using the chrono lens, you get a very clear accounting of the last hour or two of village square. It doesn't provide any audio, so you can't listen in on conversations or anything like that, but you can see the work going on around out here, and what happens when your shuttle first appears on the horizon in the town, and you can see a bit of a flurry and commotion that happens to the people. The man you know as Gabriel comes out and is summoned out there by some of the other people. They all look a little frightened at the appearance of your ship. And Gabriel appears to say something that sort of calms them down and gives them a few orders. And a few of the people that first met you, he directs personally to go off in the direction that your ship travels, as if they're sent to greet you. Okay. And then he turns, and as they leave, he turns to a handful of a few others, burly, strong-looking farmhands, and he whispers to them. But what he says, unfortunately, is beyond the capabilities of the chrono lens.
He's gonna follow the farmers from when the whisper ends, but as that happens, he'll just stop because he is just standing here in the middle of town, walking around, looking at all this.
Right, and as it stops, you have that jarring moment when you of a time jump, when all of a sudden the time of day suddenly quickly changes and you're back in the current moment, and the events around you are suddenly different. In fact, there's a person standing right in front of you, this doe-eyed, strawberry blonde woman of very young age, just kind of staring at you with that same sort of blind exuberance, the disconcerting, almost manic look on her face. And she goes, "Hello."
Oh, I must have dozed off there. Hello.
"Hi, my name's Patience."
What a lovely name.
"So, where are you from?"
Well, mostly from the stars, but...
The stars? She looks up. "I've never seen the stars.
Okay.
I was born here." "What are they like?" "Were you born on a star?"
Well, no. It's a lot of monotony, mostly out in the stars. Talking to people aboard a ship, flying about over the long distances between, and having, oftentimes, discussions with people you rather wouldn't.
She, if that's meant as any sort of side comment to her, she appears to take absolutely no notice of it. And instead begins to just grill you with 100 questions about ships and space and the like.
He's making it sound a lot less than it is, and he's trying to lead in.
But it's all jargon out there, spacefaring and laziness. What's it like here?
She goes, "Oh, well." He goes, "Haven is perfect. It was until the eye. Things have gotten difficult lately. People are being tested. But Gabriel has assured us that we can survive this, that we can come out of it stronger. Once we find a way to appease the powers that be."
Appease them.
"Yes." She looks up at the stars and the giant black hole in the sky, and she goes, "It looks so angry, doesn't it?" Can't you see that? Clearly, we've done something wrong. And when we find what it is and get rid of it, things will return to the way it was. Gabriel has assured us of this.
I don't think you did anything wrong here. That of there is an inevitability.
No, it wasn't me. I always followed Gabriel's teachings. There were others, though. And then she drops the subject. Or she tries to. She just says, there were others, though, and trails off.
Others that didn't listen? Or
Give me a persuasion roll.
All right.
What?
Since I'm an Imperial Worlder, I'll add a +1 to this.
Yeah, we gotta go.
That'll be a 5.
So that'll be 5. Okay.
Lock the doors.
5 is a success. She reluctantly kind of looks down and away. With a look of, you'd think, shame on her face. Kind of washes over, and then she returns. She goes, there were others that didn't understand his teachings, fought it, did not want to give up their corruptions. But then her exuberance comes back. But they're gone now. And once we can reaffirm our faith, yeah. She looks back. The second son will return, and Haven can return to being what it once was.
well, that sounds like a hopeful future.
Yes, I
Let's hope
agree.
the sun comes back.
And he tips his hat and starts moving along at a rushed pace towards the others.
And waddles quickly away.
So, Zeth, you're taken amongst you find out that for the most part, anything on your list that is of natural materials, is like primarily wood and construction supplies and that sort of thing, readily available. Asking for any sort of technology parts, any machine parts, or even sheet metal or anything like that, you are the subject. They basically say they don't have it. You realize you quickly learn that none of that stuff is available. They say, "Oh no, that's where." They either say that it's all gone, or they don't. Basically, every last piece has been put to other uses. They have no spare parts of any kind. But they can fulfill a lot of the other needs for making repairs.
Has Zeth seen the buildings that look like they're made from materials from spacefaring ships?
Yes,
Okay.
they've been all over.
And I
Bits and
think,
pieces here and there.
okay. So, with that, whoever he's dealing with,
Melina.
well, Melina, what do you use for metals? I mean, clearly you have some agriculture and basic necessities that require metals for tools and the like. What do you use for that sort of thing?
Well, she looks conflicted about that answer. She goes, "Well, we shut down on most of the productions on that sort of thing. We
Are you telling me that this community only uses sticks and stones? I mean, that seems kind of ridiculous and unbelievable. But
we have a
if
handful
you
of
say
tools. We just we have a handful of the tools that we need for hewing wood and shaping and that sort of thing.
Oh,
Yes.
well, what do you do for your axe heads?
We have
You
grinding wheels, and I can take you to one of the workshops. You can see.
I would be delighted.
All right. And she takes you off in that direction.
He's getting, so if it's not obvious from what he said to her, he's super suspicious that they don't use metals. Like that doesn't seem right to him.
They're still using bits and scraps. They're not making any new things, it seems.
Oh, so they're like taking whatever they had and constantly repurposing it? Is that the impression he got? Okay.
Iris, Hester, and Bronwyn, you are heading into the town hall. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Armed and dangerous.
All right.
Yeah.
When you get there, when you get to the door of the hall, you find that it's actually locked.
Is there anybody around?
Outside? No. Not right now.
I would like to knock. And then after you tell me what happens when I knock, I might want to do something else.
Okay. You knock a few times. There is no immediate answer.
No answer. Okay. So, how bad do we want to get in here?
Well, I mean, if we want to figure out what it is that's going on in this place, it seems, from what you were saying before, like the place we should go. And I might know a way in if yours doesn't work out.
All right. Let me see what I can do. And I
Got
would
plan
like,
C.
I would like to try and get in here with my thievery skill. Do some lockpicking.
Okay. You have, I'm assuming you got some sort of tools or something?
So
Probably.
I feel like I do, but maybe not. Do I get like a negative if I don't have lockpicking? Like a lockpick?
Well, it all depends on how you describe how you're picking a lock.
So I'm using my like a hairpin
Okay.
that's like holding my like leaves back, and then like I'm kind of using like my little stiletto like dagger to try and like leverage.
That counts as tools as far as I'm concerned.
Awesome.
All right. And
I got a 6.
that's
so I'm
a
like,
success.
I'm in there and I'm like doing my little thing, and I like flip my hair over my shoulder and I look over at Hester and I give her like a little wink, and then I go back to clicking the locks, and then the door just like pops open, and I stand up and I like bow, like in a little like to Iris, and I say, "Go ahead, historians first."
Why, thank you. And you see her just kind of slip a key into her pocket as she walks by.
Once you're inside, you are greeted with a fairly large, small little atrium that leads into a much larger sort of meeting place. With long benches where everyone can sit, and where the colony obviously comes in times to discuss important matters of, running the village or whatnot. And at the far side, there's a raised dais with a long table for a couple of the elders to sit at or something. But there doesn't appear to be anybody in here at the moment, at least not in these two front rooms. There's probably, but based on the size of the building from the outside, there's probably some more in the back rooms.
I think if we stay quiet, maybe we can just find out what we came here to find.
I think that sounds like a great plan.
So you guys, the three of you, are going to sort of sneak through.
See what we can hear.
That's all right. So you kind of tiptoe through the room and go looking for doorways into the back. I'm not going to have you make any rolls for that. You find a little side door behind the dais, and that leads into a hallway behind. You see some small sort of kitchen or prep area, and some storage closets, and you can hear some muffled voices from an office or some room like that further on down the hall.
Someone's home.
You definitely saw people go in the building. It's where Gabriel went when after he excused himself from meeting you all.
I would try and get closer to the sound and see if I can make out what they are saying.
Okay.
I too would like to eavesdrop.
All right. And Hester, as the two of them go to eavesdrop, what are you doing?
Have they started walking?
They're beginning to.
Wait. We don't have to go exactly where they are. I might have a tool for this. And I would like to cast scrying.
Okay.
Because that will allow the caster to secretly spy on a distant target. But hold on 1 minute. I need 1 interrupted minute while I focus on a target creature or location.
Minute?
1 uninterrupted
Oh,
minute.
okay. That makes
Okay.
sense.
Thank you. But the problem here is that I have seen the target. I'm looking for Gabriel.
Yeah.
What's he doing?
You're doing it in the hallway outside the office?
I would like us to get to why don't we find a better spot? Just in case. I'd like us to find some slight cover because it would be big awkward if they come out of the door and find us doing this thing.
Right.
Also, I'm vulnerable, so I need to be protected.
Okay. Where are you going are you going to suggest a location, or you let them decide?
We're in the hallway outside of the room that they're doing their business in, right? That's definitely way too close. So we need to at least go around the corner. But if there's like a outcropping of some sort or like a shelving unit that's quite large that we could all kind of...
There was a couple storage rooms you walk past. There's the kitchens, and then there was the main hall.
That's a bit too thoroughfare-y. Maybe we should kitchen ourselves away. Like the snacks that we are.
You know, they'll probably have to make a lot of noise to get in there, too. So we'll have some advance notice if we get snuck up on.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
I think at this point we should be the crew of this ship, just from how well we're working together.
I knew I liked you, Iris. I knew I liked you.
So you withdraw to the kitchens and begin focusing. Describe what this looks like to everybody else.
Have you ever watched something frost up really quick? That's what's happening here. Hester is deep in the focus, trying to call forth something. It's not easy to do. And as she does it, there's just like the slight, quick climb of little ice crystals just moving up like a small dusting as it happens. But that's all that you notice. There's not a whole lot of interesting fireworks with this one. It's more about what we'll find out. Okay. And that's a 10.
Oh, excellent. That's a hit and a raise. So I will let you share the scrying with others as with that raise. So
like a screen share?
Pretty much, as the room begins to frost, as she begins to frost over, a cold mist forms across the room, and forms begin to rise up out of that mist. These sort of frost fog shaped hologram like images begin to coalesce of Gabriel and a few other members of the colony who you don't necessarily know the names of begin to form before you here in the kitchens. And a sort of a wispy voices of them echo, with a crackling in the ice. And you just hear a portion of the conversation as it's currently going on down the hall and in the offices. And Gabriel says, well, the most important thing is that we learn which of them can be, we can bring into the colony and which we need to purge. They have a ship, which can be a problem, but it sounds crippled, which is good. Perhaps the crew will be forced to join us. The historian, most of all, needs to be dealt with. She cannot remain.
Well,
she must be disposed of.
I don't like this place.
Yeah, I get a bad feeling about this one, guys.
Yes, I think we should be careful.
The other two say, okay, as you say. What should we do? He goes, see if you can get her alone and take her to the pit. All right. And they turn to leave, and you can hear off in the distance the office door is opening up.
What should we do?
I'm just gonna look around at them and just be like, we should wait it out.
I'm just gonna go next to the door, just in case. And I just stand kind of like, the door is closed, and I keep it closed, but I stand there just in case somebody opens it so I can pretend like I was about to come out and try to maybe interrupt them and run interference.
Okay. So you're trying to make yourself obvious so that you're...
No.
Oh, okay. So you're still trying to hide, but in case they... Okay. Give me a stealth roll.
That way they don't come like all the way inside. I can just be like, oh my goodness, you found me. I was looking for a snack. You know.
Give me a stealth check.
Stealth. Being sneaky.
Oof.
Rolling a Benny.
What was your first roll?
Oh my God, I'm going to do another Benny. My first roll was a 2.
What was your second roll?
A 3. So I'm going to keep it going. Sneakiest.
What was that roll? 7. Okay. As the two buffer-looking gentlemen come walking down the hall, I'll give them a quick roll to see if they notice you. They roll 4. Your first 2 attempts would have failed, but your third attempt is successful, and they walk past without noticing you in the hallway into the kitchen, and they look and they head out of the building, ostensibly in search of the iris.
Thank goodness.
Oof.
All right, I think it's safe, but I don't know. We might want to give it a second. This seems really serious, you guys.
It does seem quite serious, but I don't think they understand who they are dealing with if they think they're going to just throw me in some sort of pit. But we probably should let the rest of the crew know what is actually going on. What a horrible place this is.
The worst, really.
Yes, yes, it is quite. We just came here looking for help, and they're trying to conspire to brainwash half of you and kill the other half. Ridiculous. How rude.
I do wonder though, do you think the pit's got like metal and shit in it so we could fix a ship?
No,
Now that's an idea.
that is an idea. But we would have to at least find where it is that this pit is. I mean, suppose if I let them lead me there, you could follow, but that could be quite dangerous. We don't know what I could be walking into, and I am not good bait.
I shouldn't say so. I mean, Hester, what do you think? You think we should go back and tell the others?
You know, we could look for a map before we leave. This is the city hall.
Oh, to the city. Sure. It's not a bad
Got
idea.
points.
What room are we in?
You're in the kitchens.
Oh, it's probably not enough up here.
The story is like, what are you doing here?
What happens here?
We're gonna cut away from here and over to
What a
the.
strange library.
We're gonna cut over to the machine shops where the car is being shown around the village and what it has in the form of machinery in order to make new tools and the like. And basically, much of what you see here is you would classify it on a medieval level. They have sort of a blacksmith and grinding and stuff. They do work in metal. Nothing of a sophisticated modern technology like you would see on any other planet, however. It's all very manual works, no automated machines whatsoever, all hand-hammered tools and the like. At one point, the woman who's been showing you around, Melina, is called away, and you're left there with some of the workers in the machine shop, looking at their crudely built devices and lathes and things like that. Is there any particular things you're asking about while you're here?
Oh, well, this is some pretty fine work here, friends, and I'm just curious, where do you source the metals? Do you have a mine around here somewhere or some such like that? What kind of ores are you working with? And he just kind of like leans in real, curiously. He's got a look of very, very much looks like he's very interested in what they're doing in a professional, like as a professional.
A younger woman says, well, most of what we have is repurposed.
That's really commendable. It's excellent practice to make sure that what you build is built to last, and if it doesn't last, you just rebuild it. Am I right?
Yeah. I mean, it's making sure that we have the materials we need to survive is very important.
Yeah, did
She
it come
kinda
from
looks-
the ship you all came here on in the first place or something like that?
Yeah. Like this over here, and she kind of pulls you off to one side to show you a table that they use for shearing wood to make it smooth and flat and stuff like that, and starts showing you the very pretty good carpentry that's involved there. And as she pulls you to the side, she says, "Can you help us?"
I would be delighted, but I'll help you how?
She goes, and she looks over her shoulder at in the direction of some of the other people here in the machine shop, and turns back and says, "Is there room on your ship for people who might not want to stay?"
Uh, 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 gosh, I wish Corinne were here right now.
For a Benny from Corinne, he can show up, or a Benny from you, he can show up right now.
Oh, I'm delighted to spend that Benny. Yes. If only Corinne. Oh, Corinne, just who I was looking for. Get over here. I've got a fantastic something. We need to talk, please.
Of course. Yes, we do. What's going on?
What was your name, miss? I'm Zeth, by the way. This here is Corinne.
She goes, Arabella, but we can't draw too much attention. They're watching.
I completely understand. Give me just a moment. Corinne,
She again looks like she's like, as she's saying this, she's kind of like her gesturing, almost in a pantomime fashion at how the machine works.
Perfect. And seeing that, Zeth turns his body so that his back is to anybody else in the shop, and he swings around her as if he's looking over her shoulder and or looking at what she's directing his attention to. And while he does that, he literally out of the side of his mouth is going, Corinne, this gal says she wants to get off the planet. Do you think we have room on the ship? Wink.
Of course.
How much? There are others like me.
How many others?
It looks like she's trying to do the calculation. She goes, 20 or so.
Oh.
Could be a tight fit, but you have enough space.
I think if we can get enough food supplies and water and such, I think we can maybe help you out, Arabelle. It sounds like you want to keep this a little hush-hush, though, right?
She goes, and he goes, we keep it incredibly sharp.
Who's in charge of maintaining all? Because whoever is in charge of this machine shop is doing a bang-up job. I'd like to shake their hand.
And then her voice drops down again and says, let me gather up some people and we can meet you outside by where you landed.
Corinne, this is it. This is our mission, right? I mean, this is how we honor the captain, isn't it? Am I right, Corinne? You know better than me.
Perhaps not. I'm not sure.
Oh.
What do you think? Are they trustworthy?
Oh, I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, I guess we need to find out a little more about what's going on. Well, thank you so much, Arabelle. If I have any other questions, we'll be back. And I'm putting my arm around Corinne and walking out right now.
All right, and she kind of like she waved. You see her wave to you guys as
I look back over my shoulder at her and make sure nobody else can see, and then kind of just give her a really obvious wink. But I mean, I look over as if I'm just saying bye and give her a wink, but I'm trying to make sure nobody else sees it.
Okay, give me a persuasion roll.
Sure. Oh gosh! I'm a little afraid. Here we go.
It's mostly because, as a Hakar, you are naturally suspicious.
Hey. Nice. How about that? Well, that's an 8.
What was your final roll?
I got an 8.
Oh, hey, that's a hit and a raise. So you pull it off perfectly. None of the other people in the machine shop seem to take any unusual notice to it.
He's like so obvious that nobody would suspect he's doing anything surreptitious.
And you slip out out of the machine shop, and you're back on the roads to the village. What do you guys do?
We have more problems than theirs.
I mean,
it seems.
Go ahead.
It seems like somebody is following us. I was consulting the spirits.
He chuckles for a minute.
I was consulting the spirits about this. But in the past, before we got here, they sent people to greet our ship, the father elite of all of this. It seems he's been...
Gabriel?
Yes, Gabriel.
Okay.
It seems he's been talking to the people, and this seems a full-blown out cult. They all surround him about some great testimony he's made for whatever their strange religion is, whatever it is. They have people following us. And I haven't seen them.
In fact, as you were saying this, you can see off in the distance up the hill a bit, the town hall, and 2 large, burly-looking men, the same that you saw through your monocle earlier, come out of the town hall and are looking around for someone. They see you and kind of like come hurriedly down the hill towards you. And as they come up, they go, "Hello, well met, travelers." But what they do not, while they are being pleasant to you, they look over your shoulder and further down the hall as if they're looking for someone else.
Greetings, friends. Did you lose something, or are you looking for
we just want to make sure. How are you finding our village? Pleasant?
That's the word I would use. Yeah, it's pleasant, right, Corinne? People are nice here.
And your friends?
You know, I haven't seen them since we parted, all of us, towards the center of town.
And one of them kind of squints a little bit, possibly a bit of suspicion, but he doesn't say anything about it. He goes, "Well, we hope you enjoy your stay in Haven. Blessed be." And they kind of hurry off down the path, still checking around corners as they go.
Blessed be. They're in quite the rush.
Blessed be. Do you think the others are in trouble, Corinne? Something doesn't seem right now that you bring it to my attention.
No, they're probably not. All right. Neither are we. I'm going to try and get a consultation with Esmer. Try and get some support down here.
Back at the town hall, the 3 of you are searching for some sort of map. Give me a notice roll as you kind of scour the available rooms, unless you are going to go pay a visit to Gabriel.
I got a 7.
Roll it.
All right. 7 is a success. You go to the main hall area and begin looking around there, and you can see that there are like a couple of not crudely, but drafted plans for the layout of the colony that probably made back in the early days. Because a lot of them look like they're plans for where they're going to start building and that sort of thing. But it gives you a rough idea of the place. And you see that there are some later adaptations and additions that are added to it over the years. The underlying thing was actually like a proper draft, follows empire designs for colony layouts. But the later ones are more or less professionally done. What are you looking for on the map?
The pit.
You begin looking for
Just curious.
a place labeled the pit on the map.
Go figure. Go figure.
Yeah.
What about like a something that might appear to be like a natural landmark, like a crater, caldera, cheeky caldera?
Okay.
An unusual, isolated hole of considerable size and shape.
Give me a smarts check.
Oh. It's going to be fine, everyone. Wow.
You are the this is the
A 5.
This is the smartest of all smart groups that I've ever run in a Savage Worlds game. There's not a stick amongst you. No offense, Bronwyn. You're all pretty smarty pants. And in this case, Hester, as you're looking over the map, you can see that the geology here is mostly open plains. It's a very well selected for farmland. There isn't a whole lot of such things, but you do see one spot that's listed as was a place where they're apparently mining for stone. And you think
Sounds like a pit.
and you can see an area that's been marked off as the quarry.
Indeed. Look at that there. The quarry.
That's
Something.
like a likely place for a pit. I mean, you can't just put it anywhere, I suppose.
One would think.
You reckon that's where they get stoned?
Indeed. I hope so. That would be poetic. Well, should we try to go to this pit, or
Let's hide these and bring them back to the others.
yes,
That makes sense. Yeah.
seems like a good plan. Yes.
So you take the map and go looking for the others.
I think we're taking the map and going to the pit, but yeah. You two tell me. I'm like hungry for danger tonight. I don't know.
I am hungry for danger.
But we got to be responsible.
But what if we find? Okay, well, let's think about this. If we get to the pit and we find something incredible, we could drag it. Maybe.
Corin and Zeth, give me notice rolls.
I would be delighted.
Certainly.
I don't like that.
Got a homunculus. Every girl's gotta have a homunculus.
Nice. Explosion for Corinne.
Not what I mean.
Here comes mine. Yeah, not bad. I got a 5.
Field trip?
Okay, so both of you said 5, and what did Corin get?
With a -2 from Chrono Distortion, also 5.
Oh, 5. Okay. Oh, because you still have those lenses in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. You've noticed in the short hours that you've been here, the golden sun of the planet has begun to turn a distinct red as the the black eye begins to rise up higher into the sky. These thick red clouds forming on the horizon, and it looks dangerous.
Cool.
It looks like a storm is coming, or
It's hard to say. You're not familiar with the weather on this planet, but it looks. You're not too sure how. It is a distinctly different weather pattern than what you were observing on your way in. Both of you are fully aware of this.
that doesn't look so good, does it?
No. Let's find the others. Maybe Esmer can wait.
And as it would happen, as the three of you are slipping out through the front of the Great Hall and into the center town courtyard, Zeth and Childeren are walking up the hill.
Can I use one of my Sporecaster powers to disguise Iris?
Unfortunately, disguise.
Victorian.
Well, disguise only. I believe that's self. It's for Sporecasters. You can use it on yourself or other Nari to change the way they look.
That's it?
It's only useful on other plant creatures. The historian, unless you want to try and make her look like you or some other plant creature, you can kind of wrap her up in vines and growth, and that sort of thing. I would allow that.
I just checked
guess-
my illusion spell too, and I was like,
I'll wait then. I'll wait.
Okay.
When you guys look over at Bronwyn, like as we're walking up to our companions, you can see my face kind of like scrunched up, like I'm really thinking hard about something. Plotting.
All right. So as the five of you draw close together, who speaks first?
Whoa. There you are.
Oh, yes, we've just discovered that this town is planning to make all of you other town members and to kill me by throwing me into a pit. So, how has your town gone?
Much the
There
same.
There's definitely something really peculiar about these people. Although
Yes.
I think they're not all bad. There was a girl in the machine shop named Annabelle, and she asked if we had room on the light of day to take her and a few others with us to get away from this place.
And you just trusted it?
Yeah, what if it's a trap? Do you think of that?
I guess you were right, Corinne. I didn't say. Well, damn.
It's true. It could be a trap.
Correct.
But-
Do you have your lantern on you?
I do, yeah.
All right, go on.
It
I
could
just
be.
thought, yeah, you're probably right.
Zeth.
Well, yeah. What'd she look like? Was she like a grown woman or a little girl or what?
Well, she's working in the machine shop, so she's certainly responsible, but I have no idea how old or young she was. Teenager, young 20s, well, I don't know. Corinne, can you tell?
Childeren, your
Something like
lantern
that.
has begun to spark and flicker on its own accord.
What's that?
Just a moment.
You inspect it.
I'm getting a call.
Yeah, sort of what it
Hello.
does. You know that when it does this, the spirit is aware of something, but it would require you to commune with it in order to figure out what that is. to perform your seance power or your.
Yeah. So we'll set it on the ground, sort of etch a circle around it, and start marking places as that's happening. The flame is trying to flick up, and I'll do commune.
Okay. And as you, well, give me a roll. Oh, yeah.
Yep. That'll be a.
Nose.
Are you kidding me? Do you have a Benny, my friend?
I
You
absolutely
cannot
have a
spend a Benny on a critical failure.
Yeah, you can.
So, as you begin to perform the ritual, all of a sudden you feel, in fact, you feel this sort of backlash from the lantern, and you immediately take a level of fatigue, and you just sense the spirit in the lantern crying out to you in panic, and then it's gone. Just a moment of warning, and then it's gone, like it's cut off.
Karen, you don't look so good. Are you all right? What just happened?
The spirit of Zalon's not responding.
It's
He's trying to talk to us.
At this point, the three people who are inside the town hall notice the strange dark red of the sky, and you can see rising in the from the horizon the moon of Calypso, which does not look entirely intact. As it comes cresting over the horizon, it looks shattered and egg-shaped. And as it begins to break apart, balls of fire begin raining down on the town. And we're going to take a midpoint break.
Thank you for watching Valor Studios on YouTube. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and turn on notifications.
Wow. Well, you know, feeling less bad about the pit now. Yeah. Maybe we should find the pit so that we can be safe.
Your Grace, do you know anything about that? I've never seen, nor have I heard, nor have I read anything about a moon cracking open like an egg. Are those fireballs coming down towards us? Maybe we better run.
That's a lot of questions all at once. Do I know anything about any of these things?
You can give me a science roll.
Okay. Five.
You can see the way that the moon of the planet is misshapen and breaking apart, and as it shatters, while pieces are flying towards Calypso, other pieces seem to fly off towards the heavens, away from the planet. In fact, you think that the gravitational pull of the black hole is growing, and it may be beginning to affect the planetary bodies around it. This place is about to be torn apart.
Well, I would say that the black hole is getting bigger, and now we are still in the half of it here. So if we don't get off this planet very quickly or find some other way to not be here, then we're going to end up just like that moon.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it matters, but there's a fucking quarry somewhere. It's got rocks in it. Can you do something with that, Zeth?
Well,
You're
it
smart or
to
something.
have metal, which was something we had thought about.
And maybe things that were thrown away once.
Yeah. Maybe a
okay,
ship?
I mean, given time, I can build or fix just about anything. That's the best idea we have, but we better be quick.
And if we wait, we're going there anyway.
What do
true.
you mean?
Well, I really.
The pit!
The first of the fireballs begins to come closer and closer towards the town. But at this point, the villagers also notice it and begin to, some of them drop to their knees in prayer. Others look suspiciously in your direction. You sense a sense of dread or a belief that you have brought this upon them.
Maybe if you had technology, you wouldn't be having this problem right now. Don't look over here.
Several villagers, including the two large burly gentlemen that you encountered earlier, head towards the center of the town in the town square where you are, eyeing the lot of you and with brandishing various farm implements. What would you like to do?
I think we should head back to the break of dawn right now and get up to the light of day as quickly as we can. I'm going to start backing away, looking at the others.
All right, and what we're going to... Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to agree.
Okay. I didn't want to interrupt. All right. What we're going to do here is you have to race back to the break of dawn. Your shuttle, as voted upon by the, as suggested by the followers on Twitter and Facebook, and voted upon by the people in the chat. Break of dawn is the winner. Congratulations. I will look up who originally nominated the Break of Dawn. I do not recall at the moment. And I will when this video goes up on YouTube, we'll put a big thank you to that person in the comments there. All right. So we're going to... Yes.
How big is our shuttle?
It could comfortably fit about 15... No, not comfortably. It can cram in about 15 people if need be. Comfortably, it sits about 6 to 8.
So as we're kind of like starting to kind of make our way in the opposite direction, what Zeth said has been kind of playing through my mind about the girl. And like I remember like once I had to leave a bad situation behind. And I look over at him and I say, can you, we gotta get out of here, but like, where's the girl? Where's your friend? We can fit some of the people, not all of the people, but where is she?
She was in the machine shop and there's no way. She said 20 people. There's no way that's gonna happen. That little shuttle could do a lot, but I don't, unless they're teeny tiny and babies, but I don't think. Let's go find her. Let's go. Oh gosh, that was scary.
Arcs of fire begin tearing overhead and slamming into buildings. The village begins to erupt in explosions, and earthquakes rack through the landscape as you move through the village of Haven. Villagers are scattered, but many pursue you in a rage at the same time. We're going to treat this like a dramatic test here.
Yeah.
Fair. That's fair.
All right, so what's going to happen here is that you guys are all going to explain over the course of a minute or so what it is you guys are doing to either make progress back to your shuttle or gather up as many people who want to come with you and evacuate as possible. We're gonna. It's or fight off the believers who are trying to stop you from doing any of this.
Yeah. Your Grace, would you be able to take Karen and maybe well, I don't know, Hester and Bronwyn. Maybe you all should get to the break of dawn and protect it. I can try to find Annabelle and maybe get there. I'm afraid people are gonna try to just get on our ship and take it if we don't protect it.
Yes, I think that's actually a good point. So, yes, we will get to the ship as quickly as possible.
And I love you, Karen, but you're slow. So you should go now.
Of course, that I know. Make sure you do the same at some point.
You sure you can do this on your own?
Nope, but I'm gonna try anyway.
All right, so we're going to treat. We're going to break this into 3 rounds. Each round is going to cover about 5 minutes of events on the way to getting back to the break of dawn. So in round 1, I'm going to deal cards. We're going to go in the order that the cards are dealt. If you are dealt a club, there's going to be some particular difficulty for you at that moment. It'll make whatever test you're trying to do more difficult. You have to you get to choose whichever skill that you want to use to contribute to this. You just describe what you're doing and roll that skill. And if you succeed, you will collect a certain number of successes for the group. You have to collect a total of. I'm doing the math here in my head now because my little macro wasn't working for me. 15 successes in 3 rounds amongst the 5 of you. So that's basically just all have to succeed each round with no failures. If you get raises, those also count as extra successes and can help fill the gaps for other people. If, however, you fail or critically fail, if you fail, no successes. If you critically fail, you will be removing successes from the total. And you might, and if you're choosing a particular combat sort of thing, you might actually get hurt in the process. So, everybody understand?
Let's go. Question, narrator. Did we get new bennies at the beginning or no? And I think I've only used one, so I'm just trying to track it.
Yeah, I did not check. I did not check to see if all your bennies were reset. If you feel like they weren't, that would be a good time for me to give you all a benny anyway. You've done excellent. You all did excellent tonight. And don't forget about your conviction. Use it or lose it.
Just looking at it.
How does that work in a dramatic task?
Well, anything you do for 1 round will get the conviction die added to it.
Perfect. And can I spend the conviction after I've rolled a really bad roll?
I'll allow it.
Okay.
We're going to make it.
Right.
Question mark.
So, in the first round, covers you leaving the city square and trying to get out of the environment of the center of the town itself. What are you all trying to do? Dealing cards. My card goes to Hester with the Jack of Hearts.
Is anybody directly trying to impede us in an aggressive way?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, here's the thing. Here's the point where you get to describe what's going on and how your character is overcoming it.
Huh. Well, I start blasting.
Okay. So, start blasting at what? What is going on that's trying to directly impede?
Those 2 large gentlemen.
Okay.
With the farm equipment.
Right. Yeah.
Pow! Revolver time.
Okay. All right. So you pull out your revolver. How did that roll go?
Well, it's a 3, and that doesn't feel quite like the energy I was trying to roll up with, so I'm spending a Benny.
Okay.
Okay.
How did
And
that
that's
go?
worse. It's
That's
a 2
worse,
now.
All right.
And you know what? I have so many. Let's do it again.
All
Nope.
right.
Okay, we can do one more. Why not? This feels important.
Oh. Remember when I said you have conviction?
Maybe it's time for that.
All right. And roll one more d6. Just roll it. Just drop it. Just click the little square in the down in the dice tray at the bottom. 4 added to your 3 would make 7.
We're
which
gonna
is a
be
success.
okay.
All right, so you fire off. You pull out your pistol and begin firing at these people. I will say that with the difficulty that you had, you managed to send them diving for cover and clearing the path out of the town. But you don't necessarily, maybe you injured one, but they're still a threat and could be pursuing you.
That'll do.
But it will be at least 1 success earned for the group, and then moving on down to the next person on the list, Bronwyn. You all pulled pretty low cards because your card is a 5, but unfortunately, it's the 5 of clubs.
Oh.
Which means that what you're going to attempt to do, whatever you attempt to do, is at a -2 this round. But so describe what it is that you're trying to do in general.
Are there still more people chasing us?
Oh yeah. Well, you tell me. Are there still more people chasing you?
So I feel like there's probably a handful of, there's probably a good number of people that are chasing us, which I actually kind of like because that'll make it easier for Zeth to figure out who's a good guy.
Right. Okay.
So I would like to put them to sleep if I can. If I can use my forecasting to put the people pursuing us and just knock them out.
All right, and I will add that your penalty in this comes from the fact that the adrenaline, the sudden adrenaline of the world collapsing around you all, is going to make that more difficult. So that will give you a -2 to the roll.
Okay, I roll focus, right?
Yes, that is correct. And spend some power points. Oh, wow.
Well, that's an 11.
All right. That is a success and just shy of 3 raises. But so remember this takes place over the course of 5 minutes. So you more than just one casting. You're as you go running through the town, and if the group looks particularly aggressive and comes towards you in a threatening way, you start casting out these slumber spores as these green particles fly out from Bronwyn's hands as she opens them up, and just these clouds of green glowing sparkles kind of get sucked into these people as they go past, and they seem to collapse and fall into unconsciousness as you go running past them, as the skies light up with flame and fire, and it is difficult for you to focus with the presence of so much fire about you.
Yeah, I don't like it.
But you certainly aid in the evacuation of at least your group out of the center of town.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think at this point, Iris is prioritizing getting to the ship. So I'm just going to focus on running.
Okay.
So would that be athletics in this case?
That would be.
Okay. Athletics.
And we
I rolled a 3. I'm going to use a Benny
Okay.
and re-roll that.
What was your final result?
Okay. There we go. That was a 7.
All right.
One more up.
Yeah. They only had one more. Now remember, in future rounds, if you have a club and you don't want to take the chance of getting that penalty, also one more complication I'm going to throw in on that: if you fail on a round where you were dealt a club, something catastrophic happens. It is a critical failure for the entire group. This is a warning. If you don't want to risk that, you can always choose to not try and earn successes for the challenge that round, but instead make support rolls for somebody else, which would avoid that critical failure. I will remind you of this at the top of the next round. But so that is enough to boost the result up to a 5. And moving on, Childeren, you're next.
Childeren is always making a slow pace. As that is happening, fire is raining down from the sky, and Childeren is going to raise up their lantern and cast out,
Spirit of Zulan, though you are not here, there are others. Fallen ones, protect your kin.
and as he raises up the lantern, I'm going to try and commune and bring about the spirits and the ancestors of the people that are chasing us to raise up a hand to protect the pleasanter ones.
Okay. All right.
Roll. That'll be a 4.
Yeah, 4 is a success. You are able to connect to the spirits, and as you do so, maybe you sense what it was that made it so difficult for you to commune earlier. The number of spirits that lay unanswered, unquiet in this place are overwhelming to you. You become aware of a vast amount of death in this colony in the not too distant past. There are more dead spirits here than should be for a colony of this age. And those spirits are very angry. As you are rushing through the town, you help them to manifest. And as they do so, you can hear the screams of the believers behind you as they are pulled down and attacked by these spirits in swirling mists through the smoke and fog of the fires as it begins to spread through the town. And that is 6 successes.
That is karmic retribution.
Into the first round is Zeph with the 2 of clubs.
Yeah, I'm not thrilled about the clubs, and there's probably a moment where Zeph stands and just watches as the others head off towards the break of dawn, and all I want him to do this round is just run back towards the machine shop. He's looking for Annabelle and whoever she was going to try to collect.
All right. All right, so that would be a notice roll.
Okay, so, and I don't really want to take the risk of a critical failure, so is that going to count towards a success or failure? Because I don't know if I want to do that.
You could, if you can try and figure out a way to assist somebody else on their next roll, you could do that. Making an attempt to assist will give them a +1 on whatever they're going to do.
All right, notice. Here we go.
All right, and no penalty because you're calculating. Oh, that's a good thing you were doing supports.
Only a 3.
Now, do you want to be okay with that, or do you want to try and... what did you roll? I'm jumping ahead of the story.
No, it's all good. I only rolled a 3.
Okay.
I think it's fine. I think he's just he's so caught up in the moment. He's looking for anything, but it doesn't necessarily see any threats or what he perceives as threats. So that's when he decides, all right, I gotta get running.
Round 2. First of all, looking down, Childeren, you were dealt a club this round, so be warned.
Can we pause to say how cool it is that the 3 ladies all got queens? I mean, we got 3 queens in this party, and that's cool.
Queen number 1 is Hester. All right, you have made it outside the perimeter of the center of town. You're entering into the farmland, into the outlying buildings, the workshops, and some of the personal homes out here. What is your character doing in order to help the escape? I will say, after your successes so far, a handful of people who do not appear to be trying to harm you or impede you have actually seemed to be running with you in fleeing the center of town. There are six, conveniently exactly the same number of successes you've achieved so far, are now fleeing alongside with you all.
Okay, then. Just observationally, how far away is Childeren from me?
Childeren is bringing up the rear because of his slow pace. So I'd say within short range of a pistol, if you want to take your shot.
At Childeren. No. But like
I misread the situation.
But great thinking. Great thinking. You got it. You're only as strong as your weakest link, right? Like this is a herd animal moment.
The believers. I just have to outrun you.
All right, so good to know. But also, if I wanted to be next to Childeren, would I be able to make that movement and then take an action?
No, like I said, remember, these events are not like one brief moment in time. These are things that you're doing over the course of 5 minutes.
Great. I have just enough minutes to fall back a bit to be by Childeren. And what I would like to do is I'm going to grab onto my strange amulet. And I'm incanting just a little bit. There's a small amount of light kind of peeking out through the grip that I have on the amulet. And I would like to spray forth, if I can, a slick of ice on the ground.
Okay. Behind Childeren or?
In front of me.
Something to...
Towards the ship, and I am going to apologize profusely. I do apologize for this, but in some ways you'll find that perhaps it is the return of a favor that I owe you, and I'm going to push Childeren down the ice path.
One does not top a dwarf.
I push them onto the ice.
All right. So let's see. Do you want to make this a test on your powers or a test on your athletics to throw it?
I'm going to say powers because I don't think it will be very challenging to get him onto the path, seeing as how it's coming from me.
All right.
And I don't really need to aim them, I think. I'm really just kind of going... It's more of a shove so that they are onto the ground, because I feel like you would probably fare better if you're skidding on your shell or butt rather than your feet.
Right. Okay.
And the force is just a bit helpful, right?
Give me a spellcasting roll.
No whammies.
Well, that's a lot of dice. How did that happen?
But the thing is that this was karma. The gods have chosen.
Right.
They willed Chileren's flight.
All right, so that added 2 successes, and moving down to Queen number 2, the Queen of Hearts, Bronwyn.
That's me.
Yeah.
So like I'm real concerned about these flaming rocks flying at me.
Oh yeah.
Same.
So can I like use my entangle to like have tentacles, like little like tendrils of plant matter, kind of like shoot from my fingers and kind of like bat them away from myself and my companions?
Sure.
That's what we're doing.
Okay.
To try and make sure everybody stays safe.
You start throwing up. Yeah. Okay. Just give me a roll.
That's not cute. I'm gonna get a bed.
Okay. Ooh.
That's worse.
Okay.
How many more beds? I think I have one more. I'm gonna go for it.
Okay. There we go.
There we go.
What was the final result?
That's much better. That's a 10.
10. All right, that is a hit and a raise. Adding 2 more to the thing. You start throwing out these tendrils of vines, both batting away the fiery rocks falling from the heavens, and in some places creating canopies for people to run through. Bombardments of stones come slamming into the ground, building bridges of vines across cracks that begin to open up in the earth as you make your way out to the outskirts of town. And let's bring that up to a 4 on the dice. You're now at a total of 10 of the 15 that you need. Iris.
I think Iris is kind of, as all of these things start, like these fireballs start coming down, she engages her little spider guy who sits up on her head and shoots bolts, but she turns it around so it's shooting back. I just basically want to use bolt to kind of shoot, to try and hit some of these fireballs to just knock the momentum off, if possible.
Interesting. Okay.
So would I use Forgecraft for this?
Yes.
If I want to use this?
Yeah,
Okay.
the same thing as activating any of your powers.
Okay. Oh, 9.
It's a critical. Do you see that way it rocked from a 9 to a 1 and then back to a 9?
Dangerous.
All right, so that is a success and a raise with a 9, which will bring the total from up to a 12 on your number of successful tasks completed. And you have a good, and with that, a good half of plus of the colonists who would like to leave with you have joined into the group. And it begins to dawn on you that there are more amongst your party than can fit on the shuttle.
Oh.
Corinne, you're up with the 8 of clubs.
Yeesh. So Corinne's like sliding turtle back on this ice. As he's like curdling over side to side, the ice is just sort of like pulling him back into place, like you're trying to help your kid roller skate. Mm-hmm. As he's gliding along, he gets to the end of the ice and just topples over, and ahead of him is the ship. As he looks up, he goes around. And he starts moving in, grabs a flare and a flare gun, just. I'm going to use the help action on.
Assist, okay.
Oh, yeah. Assist, sorry.
Are you attempting to assist?
He's gonna assist Zeth.
He's up next,
He's next up. Yeah, and give him some peace of mind that we've made it to the ship, and he's gonna start revving it up.
You're gonna help him out with it. Well, you're almost there. You're not quite there yet, but yeah, you're getting real close. All right, give me. Are you? What is this? Are you looking to use your shooting to assist him, or to guide him towards where the ship is, or you're trying to just kind of like bolster his confidence with a persuasion?
Bolster his confidence with a persuasion.
All right.
I think he needs that. Roll at a -2 to this.
Oh, yeah, well.
That's a big roll.
That is -2 to that will make a 17, right? Which I hate doing this sort of math, but luckily I got a little cheat sheet right here. So target number is 4, result was 17. That is 3 raises. So that would be 4 more points added to to the marker, which would go over the totality needed to get to the ship and out of town. So yeah, you very clearly get to the ship with, unfortunately, with 16 of the colonists and the 5 of you, for a grand total of 21 people looking to escape in a shuttle that can hold 15 at the most.
Oh.
And before so technically this is the end of the challenge, as you gather outside with a crowd behind you, not shown. You must decide who's getting on.
Well, I mean, we got Steph coming up and pulling up the rear. Is he going to have that girl? Because that's another person.
In fact, that girl is here, Annabelle, who she's brought together several people. She has apparently helped gather up a lot of these people and lead them into joining with you guys. Rockets of fire still raining overhead, and you can see the concern in everybody's eyes as they also begin to start doing the math here.
Okay, so Zeth would like to take pretty much 4 of his 5 edges and try to put them into play right now. Calculating, fix it, jack of all trades, and MacGyver. He basically wants to figure out some damn way to get everybody on this vessel. Like, if he has to pull panels off, rip out seats, whatever needs to be done to just cram as many people in there as possible. That's what's been going through his mind for the last 5 minutes, basically.
Okay, so do you say this to everybody?
No. That's just what's in his head.
Okay.
As he runs up, he probably would well, what does the scene look like? Are the people like pushing and trying to get in, or are they just sort of standing around waiting and like what?
Well, they've all run up now. They're out of breath. They're looking. Some of them are looking back. They can see the believers. Yeah, you had beaten many of them back, and they're much thinned out. But you can see a small handful of them in the distance coming here, and they'll be here shortly, maybe in about 5 minutes. You have about 5 minutes to make a decision.
Yep.
And they. And you see a couple of them are kind of huddling together. A few of the men have grabbed a handful of straw from the field and are looking like they're beginning to make some of their own decisions for you, unless you have some other ideas about who's. They've done the calculations and they're going, and they realize that some people won't be able to fit on, and they're beginning to choose amongst themselves about. From the male adults who's going to be left behind, unless any of you can come up with better ideas.
Yeah. So
can't some of you just hold on to the outside? I don't see why you can't, because we go a little slower.
We're not all blessed with your superior structure, your grace. And Zeth runs up to the group.
In Axion, there is oxygen in space. There's also just some other nasty gases that you have to avoid breathing in. So you can risk that. However, the sky is also filled with fiery rocks at the moment.
Yeah.
That's a hazard for all of us.
All right. So
I'll ride on the outside.
Zeth runs up to the group of his shipmates, and all right, here's the deal. There's not enough room on this vessel for everyone, but I will do everything I can in the next few minutes to fit as many people as possible. Perhaps even some of the stronger men might want to, well, it sounds crazy, but maybe they can hang on. and they'll get lucky and make it up to the light of what the hell's the name of our ship?
The light of day.
The light of day. Thank you. Maybe they'll get lucky and even make it up to the light of day. Annabelle, it looks like your people already sort of know what's happening. I'm going to do everything I can, okay? And Zeth is going to literally from that moment forward for the next 3 to 5 minutes, he's going to just do whatever he can. He's going to start ripping panels, trying to make room or something. He just wants to figure something out.
All right. So right now you have, I believe our calculations were 21 people, counting the 5 of you.
Okay.
You can give me a repair roll and for every success and raise, you make room for one more person.
Okay. So
Can
number
I
one,
assist?
I'm going to use... yes, please.
Yes. So the rest of you may assist.
That would be awesome. If anyone has any bright ideas, now's the time, because I could use all the help I could get.
I can use my vines to like strap people in, make it safer for them, and maybe like cover them up with some.
As it is, it's already going to be standing room to fit these people in. Being jostled around is not really going to be an issue inside the ship, but you can certainly try.
I more mean like if there's anybody that needs to be on the outside, or if the doors don't come down and we need some protection on the side, I can like weave my vines together to hold people.
All right.
That's a fantastic idea.
We're going to go straight from the top here. Hester, what are you doing?
I'm going to activate 2 hindrances in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Driven and aether deviant. I've already been touched by the negative gases of space, and that's why I'm like this. And so I volunteer myself for the outward ride. And anybody that wants to come with me, I might have a trick or two up my sleeve. So I'm going to automatically take myself out. I am a harsh worlder after all. I can handle it.
Yeah, you are used to the cold.
It doesn't bother me anyway.
Yeah. You get a Benny. Hester, boom, 1 Benny. And give me, I guess that's, give me, I'm trying to figure out a good thing for you to roll here in order to contribute to his assistance. Spirit roll. You're just being inspiring.
Let's see if I get 50 dice again. No, but I have so many bennies. Let's spend some.
All right.
Where are they?
Just click on the Benny icon right there on your on that roll.
That's the better way.
Yeah. Oh. All right. What was the final total?
A 14.
All right, so that's a success and 2 raises, which is going to be +3 to Zeph's repair roll to make more room. Corinne, what are you going to do?
Corinne is moving on the outside as people are getting ready to set themselves up there and just hold on.
Mm-hmm.
And as they are, he is making some heat shielding, ostensibly, of the spirits, having their kin move in to protect them in their final moments here within the mortal realm once more. So he's communing with them to give them a bit of shielding if the fire will burn us.
All right.
Commune.
What'd you roll?
That'll be a 3.
Yeah, you're pretty exhausted from the spiritual rack you took earlier. But you want to spend a Benny and try that again?
I'll tie in my conviction.
Okay.
Zeth's words from earlier, that this might be Click's desire. fills my heart.
All right, so tap the word conviction on your character sheet, and that'll do it automatically. Unless it does the thing it did with Hester and rolls a whole mess of dice, which means that there was some sort of glitch in the latest update.
No, it was fate.
Exuberance.
All right, hey. So that's a 5 total then?
That'll be 5 total.
Or did you want to re-roll and try and do better with a Benny? Okay, so that adds another bonus, which is now +4, which is technically the limit in a normal situation. But in this case, I'm going to let the Iris and Bronwyn still also contribute as well, because you got to try and. I mean, just getting 1 or 2 successes is not going to be enough to save these people. This is a dire situation, and a dire situation calls for dire actions. Iris, what will you do to assist?
If I can, I would like to take, I would say it seems reasonable to have maybe 3 vials from my boost lower trait device.
Mm-hmm.
Take the vials that would allow them to boost a trait
Mm-hmm.
and just give them to some of the people who are going to hang on to the outside, so that when the time comes, they can inject themselves to boost their strength or whatever it is, or their agility to be able to hold on. And do something like that to support.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Would I roll Forgecraft?
That's correct.
Okay. And I shall do this thing.
Ooh. Look at these rolls.
14.
14. That's another 3 plus 3. So 7 all day plus 7. As you feel, I'm not actually going to let you. I'm not going to change your actual repair roll. This is just going to be like, it's going to be a +3 to your roll, however, which is going to be better than just getting extra dice. But Zeph, you feel a great deal of inspiration wash over you from Iris's Forgecraft devices. Bronwyn, you're up.
So I kind of like start to like weave, like I kind of just start to like release the tendrils from my fingertips,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm at the ready, waiting to kind of help latch and bind things together, as Zeth is trying to like, pull things out and make room and try to like get, space for Hester on top of the, the roof of our shuttle and all that stuff.
Okay. Yeah, give me a roll. What
Kind of
does
8.
8. That's weird. I didn't show it pop up here in the chat. But okay, 8 is 2 more successes. So that's +9 to your roll there, Zeth. And so right off the bat, even without rolling, that's going to be 2 extra seats you can squeeze out of it.
Don't fail.
This is it. This is it. This is what Captain Click wanted for everybody. This is what he was all about. People working together to help each other in the worst situations. I'm going to use my conviction just because.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have a +9 is what I heard.
That's correct.
Here we go. Rolling the repair. That's a 16 without the +9.
Oh Lord! So
that'd be 25, right?
25. So 4, 25, 5 raises.
Pack your bags, villagers.
That's everybody.
Going.
You got it. You can see it all clearly. You begin ripping out things. As Bronwyn uses her vines to provide harnesses for everyone, and Hester, you choose your position up on the roof of the break of dawn. Some of Bronwyn's vines used as like a lariat or to kind of hold yourself up, and you're gonna ride this thing standing as you see the crowd as you're squeezing the last of the folks in, but even with the speed at which you're doing. It's getting really close. The believers draw ever closer. The big fireballs begin to rapidly increase as they become soaring down from the heavens, slamming into the ground around you. Arcs streaking overhead. You're worried that at any moment the break of dawn itself could be hit.
Before Zeth gets on the ship. Once he realizes Hester's gonna actually try to, brave the outside and hold on outside, he actually puts a big, thick hand on your shoulder and says, "Hester, you be careful out there, okay?" If there's any kid like amongst the villagers or whatever,
yes,
he would grab one of them and say, "All right, you little one, come on up here with me," and like sit him down in his lap when he sits in the chair to pilot the ship.
As people are squeezing in, Iris, you're squeezed in, pressed up against one wall, and a woman that we met earlier, but you hadn't actually had a chance to encounter, by the name of Arabelle, squeezes in next to you, and she's like, "Hi, you think we're gonna make it out of here?"
Yes, we are, because I'm here, and that means that we will succeed. You do not have to worry.
She kind of looks at you and she goes, "Well, I was worried. But now that a historian's here, I've always been fascinated by historians. Could I maybe get a look at your gearworks?"
Oh, to be honest,
when things are, not right now, obviously, it's a little hectic right here. I don't mean that. I'm just...
Bit of a personal question.
Well, I understand. I'm just a bit of a mechanic myself, and...
Interesting. Well, I don't think now is the time to discuss such matters, but maybe once we make it out of here alive.
Annabelle. She holds out her hand.
Iris.
And you guys are kind of like, and then you have to press back against the wall to let the rest of the people in.
Wait.
You
didn't say Iris Bell? She says, "Annabelle, you're Iris Bell? It's a match made in heaven, please."
Zeth, as the last of the people are getting into position, actually, you probably have to get in first just to make it to the controls. Who's the last of the crew? Who's the last of you to wait at the door? Bronwyn.
Do I see him coming?
You see them coming. Gabriel leading the handful of stragglers, the believers, come rampaging over the ridge and down the stone stairs across the field. A rage in their eyes, curses hurled at you as and you, all of a sudden you freeze in terror. You've become accustomed at this point to the darkening shadows as and fire as the meteors come streaking overhead, and another one comes directly above where you're standing at the break of dawn, and you recoil in horror, waiting because you think this could be it. You're going to die in flames. You know it. And let's see, to get everyone else on board here. It looks like you're all. On top, but you're not. Only Hester is. Bronwyn, you're there at the door, and as suddenly the entire sky goes dark above you, and you hear the sound of a shrieking whistle as something falls from the sky and lands beside you. In a giant suit of armor lands Esmer Rose. And then beside, on the other side, a huge shark man lands to the ground and then reaches to his belt, turning off the gravity belt. As you look up, in the shadow overhead is the light of day, blotting out the sun above. Several more crewmen drop down wearing gravity belts and begin opening fire on the believers, holding them back just long enough for the break of dawn to take off before they also lift up with their gravity belts. And climbing, shooting back up into the sky, into the light of day.
Oh, Greggy is my hero.
Once you're back onto the light of day, it is you tumble out of the break of dawn, the shuttle onto the cargo bay, and you can hear call from the engine rooms to immediately get out of the atmosphere. One of the crew turns to you, Corinne, and says, "We've been trying to reach you, but there's been no. But your spirit. What's going on? What's happening? As soon as we saw the moon breaking up, we tried to reach out to you."
Things have broken down. I'm glad you were able to find us.
You all right? Did you get it? Those people back there on the ground, they didn't look too happy with you.
We're hurt, but we're safe now. They're gone. Let's leave them behind. This backwater.
And with that, the light of day, crippled still, injured, now with 20 additional colonists on board, climbs up out of the atmosphere, roaring past more fireballs, collapsing into the planet of Calypso. You limp out into the void in search of someplace, somewhere you can find repairs and safety. Somewhere out there in the darkness. But that will be another story for another day. And as you fade to black, in that void, we see a large man o' war, a vast city in space. On board the bridge, figures stare off at the ever-enlarging black hole. And an officer turns to a noble person standing on the bridge, saying, "Well, there goes the moon of Calypso. All in all, I'd say it's an adequate test. Yes. This seems like it, was a successful, excursion. How long do you think Calypso has? Moments. Well, the device did its job. No one will miss this backwater planet, I assure you. We should put it into production, don't you think? If you say so. What was that spec? Oh, some Samson-class frigate. Wasn't there a call for one on the... an alert, a warrant for a Samson-class frigate? Some witchfinder was looking for one. Tell them we spotted it. Might be interested. Yes, sir. All right. And that's the end of our story.
Oh my god. Oh, good. It's obviously not the end because there's a huge ship and a machine and what? And they're still on the hunt for Hester and maybe the rest of us?
But that's the end of our 4 episodes little story here. This fall Sussault of Axion. There's a much bigger universe out there to explore.
Thank you for watching Valor Studios on YouTube. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and turn on notifications